Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. In last class, we studied some important concept from problem solving technique, maybe the definition of the problem solving technique, and also we know that some important stages are there. Totally in our problem solving technique, it contains total number of stages are 7, and we know that the first stage name is the problem definition, second problem analysis, and the third stage name is design of a solution using algorithm and the flow chart. So, and we know in last class some of the important explanation about our top down design, the meaning of the top down design, the approach of dividing a problem into sub-problems and then dividing sub-problems further until we know that whatever the problem is that maybe it's a simple problem or maybe a complex, that is called as the problematic problems. Such problem going to divide, and again we are going to whatever we divided, such one going to divide again, such is called as the subdivision of the problems. So like that we are going to get the solution by using our computer. So this is called as the top down design. And also we know some important advantage of the top down design here. And we know that the third step I said about the design of a solution using the tools such as algorithm and the flow chart. Now let's, in today's class we are going to study some important concept about the algorithm and the flow chart. So while going to write any problem or any program, first of all we should know how to complete the algorithm and how we are going to complete the algorithm. So before going to start about the steps or whatever the problem each and everything, first I want to tell the meaning of the algorithm. So an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. That means maybe one problem is that to find sum and average of a number. To find the problem is to find the sum, SUM, sum and average of a numbers here. So how we are going to find out such sum and average? That means we are going to find out such sum and average by using step-by-step procedure. So whatever the step we are going to use, such one is called as the algorithm only. So clear this point here. So whatever I said now, it is the meaning of the algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure here, or the rules to get a solution of the problems. Clear this point here, to solve a given problem here. And the word algorithm is derived from the name of Arab mathematician who developed the algorithm. So we can say that such algorithm is developed or derived from the name of Arab mathematician. The name of the Arab mathematician is called as the Al-Khwarizmi. Clear this point here, Al-Khwarizmi. So Al-Khwarizmi, so who developed the step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. So this is the meaning of the algorithm. I think about the algorithm meaning and the developer of the algorithm, maybe it clear to everyone. Now we are going to tell about how to design an algorithm or how we are going to use this step of the algorithm. Now whatever I said in meaning, I am going to use all those steps by using some of the example of an algorithm. So the first example or the first program or the problem, I am going to start by using the example as the design an algorithm to find sum and average of two numbers. Now our question, we know that question is ನನಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಗರಿಥಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾವು ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ two numbers. Clear this point here? So the step 1, here some of these steps are there. We know the meaning of the algorithm is a step by step procedure to solve a given problem. So in our step 1, first of all I am going to write as the start. I am going to start the program. Clear this point here? This step 1, in step 1 first of all I am going to start the problem here, and in our step 2 now just to get the answer of sum and average of two numbers, then sure we need to input the values, correct? No input, we need to take two input variables. So I am going to take the input variables as the A and B. Clear this point here? So I am going to accept two input variables, maybe any name you can use in as a name of the variable. So here I am using the name as the A and B here, and later next one is just only whatever the variable I have taken, such one going to add. Clear this point here? So in step 3 how I am going to write this, step 3 is equal to A plus B. Clear this point here? And first of all we need to assume that, or we need to think about this one, maybe the A value is equal to 10 and B value is equal to 10. Some value we need to add into the variable. Artha aita? ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಮಗೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎ ಅಂತ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ 10 and 10 value I am going to take in both the variables. Okay kya? Now whatever the variable is there, now in step 3 I am going to make the calculation. Okay kya? And how I am going to make the calculation? That means A plus B. So we know that the A value is the 10 and plus B value is the 10. Now such value going to add into the variable. The name of the variable is the sum variable. Clear this point here? And in our step 4, clear this point here? In our step 4 now just I am going to find out the average value here. So how I am going to find out the value of the average here? So we know that why, because we already got the value of the sum in this case here. So we can say that the sum value divided by 2. Clear this point? So like that, maybe here 10 plus 10, the value is the 20 by 2. Now we know that what's the value of the average. So clear this point here? And after getting, why, because we know that the question of the algorithm, the question is design an algorithm to find the sum and average of the two numbers here. Now we know that the sum answer as well as the answer of the average here, sum by 2, correct? Now the two numbers are there, two variables are there here, and finally after knowing the sum as well as the average here calculation, laterwards we are going to stop the algorithm. Now this is the meaning of the algorithm. So clear to everyone? So just only ನಾನು ಏನು ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅದೇ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಈ ಅಲ್ಗರಿಥಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಲ್ಗರಿಥಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ algorithm steps. Clear? So it is a step by step procedure to solve a given problem here. So the step 1, first of all we need to start the program. Step 2, we need to take some of the input variables. So two numbers are there, A and B here, and later next one after going to take the A and B variable, then I am going to make the calculation of the sum here, and after finding the sum answer, laterwards I am going to find out the value of the average. And we know that how to find out the value of the average, sum by, that means our sum value is the 20 by 2, correct? No here, the 20 by 2 here, and maybe if you want you can do it here before going to write stop. If you want to display, you can show the value of the output of, you can show as well as the output of sum and average. So whatever the answer you want to show, you can write by using the steps in this case, and finally the last step we can write as the stop. Clear this point here? So this is one simple algorithm just to find out the sum and the average of two numbers. Now let's this second algorithm we are going to calculate because the question is the design an algorithm to calculate simple interest. Clear this point here? Clear the question to everyone. Now ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು by using the algorithm design here. So the question is the design an algorithm to calculate the simple interest. Okay, here simple interest. So we know that first of all we need to write the start step 1. The step 1 is the start in this case here. And what about the step 2? That means what are the variable, the input variable we need to take. So just to find out the simple interest, we need to take some of the variables are P, principal, T, time, rate or rate. Correct no? ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ input variables are principal, time and the rate here. So clear this point. So input, the first one is the P. The P is called as the principal. Then later next one T. The T is called as the time, and also I need the R. The R is equal to rate of interest. Okay, kya? Now after taking the input P, T, R, I am going to make the calculation of the simple interest here. So we know that the simple interest value, to get the value of the simple interest we need to make the calculation. The calculation is the P into T into R divide by 100. Clear this point here? So maybe if you are going to take whatever the value you are going to take, maybe the P value is equal to 1000, T value is equal to 3 here, or rate of interest is the 12, and all those value you need to take, and such value you have to divide by using the 100. Clear this point here? And after the calculation we'll get some of the output of simple interest. Okay, the output of the simple interest here, and after getting the simple interest we need to stop the algorithm. So clear this point here? So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ಸೊ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿಥಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿಲಿ we can get the answer of any program here. So clear this point here? So now just we completed the two algorithm. Why? Because the first one is the find the sum and average of two numbers, and just now I completed one more algorithm. The algorithm here we are going to find out, we are going to calculate the simple interest, and we know that how we are going to calculate the simple interest ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಗಿ P, T, R ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ P into T into R divide by 100. Laterwards we'll get the output of the simple interest, and finally we can stop the algorithm. Okay, kya? Now later next one, the third algorithm. What's the question of the third algorithm? So design an algorithm to find the largest of three numbers. Clear this point here? So ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಯಾ? ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ and output operator, input and output variables here. So each and everything after noting, then only we can go to solve the algorithm, flowchart, program, each and everything here. So we know the question. First of all question ಅನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, then only we can solve the, or we can get the output of such problem. Design an algorithm to find the largest of three numbers. Okay, ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ಮೂರು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿಥಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ step is very simple. We are going to start the step 1 by using start. Correct? Now we are going to start the algorithm. Now in step 2, that means maybe to make any kind of the calculation, we know that first of all we need to take the input variables. So how many variables we need to take? 3 variables. Correct? No? Why? Because here we are going to find the largest of 3 numbers. So I am going to take the variable. The variables are A, B and okay, by using capital letter we are going to take A, B and C. Okay, so 3 variable I used here. Now after completing the 3 variable, then I am going to use some of the calculation. So in case of the calculation, what are the calculation I am going to use? The first calculation is just I am going to check whether A value is greater than B. Clear this point here? So the A value, in this case here, the A value is greater than B in this case here, and A value is greater than C. Clear this point here? Maybe now after taking 3 variables, I am going to check the variable, and the condition is if A value greater than B here and A value greater than C. Maybe A value is equal to 20. Okay, so let's by using some of the value, A value is equal to 20, and maybe here okay, one by one, A value is equal to 10, B value is equal to 20, C value is equal to 30. So some of the value I have taken in our A, B, C here. So A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C value is equal to 30. Now after knowing the value of A, B, C, now just I am going to check the condition. The condition is if A value greater than B and A value greater than C in this case here. So in this case, when you are going to, that means if such condition, ಈ condition ಯಾವಾಗ true ಆಗ್ತದೆ, that means both of the condition, ಈ ಎರಡು condition true ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ condition true ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ value largest ಇರಬೇಕು? A value should be the largest. Clear this point here? If it is true, then output A. Clear this point here? In this case here, so this step 3, I am just using one condition. If A value greater than B and also the A value is greater than C, that means in both cases which value is the greatest, the largest value or the greatest value? A. If it is true, if both conditions are true, then output A. Clear this point here? The output A in this case here. Or maybe we can say that in this case here, like that only I am going to use some other condition. So else if this condition is not true, okay, A value is not greater. Why? Because we know that the value A is equal to 10, B value is equal to 20, C value is equal to 30. So when you are going to check, okay, A value is greater than B, when you are going to compare A and B, so we can say that A value is not greater. When you are going to compare A and B, the B value is the greater. And also when you are going to compare the A value with the C value, whether such value is greater? No, the A value is not greater. If it is greater, then output ಗೆ. Clear this point here? ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ here. If it is greater, then the condition is A. Clear this point here? Otherwise we need to check some other condition. Clear? We need to check some other condition. If the A value is not greater, then we know that some other 2 values are there. We need to make the checking of such variable. So else if B value is greater than C, okay, then if B value is greater than C value, if it is true, then output B. Clear this point here? The output B in this case here, but also if B value, when you are going to check B and C, you have to compare it whether B is greater. No, B value is 20, but C value is the 30 in this case here. So we can say that the C value is the greatest. Correct in this case here. So that means if it is condition, if the condition is true, then output B, else output C. Clear this point here? Else the output C. Now whatever the if condition is there, we open. Now just I am going to stop such condition by using the step in this case here. So the end of if structure. The end of if structure, and lastly I am taking the last step after knowing whichever is the greatest or the largest here. Later was I am going to stop the algorithm. So clear now about the algorithm, how to complete the algorithm, the first and second I think clear to everyone. And about the last algorithm, the algorithm here we are going to find out 3 number whichever is the largest, correct no? And I already given some of the value. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C value is equal to 30 here. And first of all I started by using step 1 start. Then the 3 variables we need to take, input A, B, C here, and after that now just I used the condition. The condition is the if A value greater than B and A value greater than C. That means here the AND condition is that if both the condition are true, then only the output is A. If both the condition are true, when you are going to compare the B and C, the A value is the greatest. It should be the greatest in this case here. Then only the output A here. Otherwise, if the output is, if the condition is false, maybe one condition is true, maybe one condition is false, then we won't get the output as a here. That means we need to go for we need to check the next condition. So just only I started to check our next condition. So in next condition how I written here. So else if B value greater than C, that means here the 2 variable we need to check. If it is true, then output B. Else lastly the output C here. I opened the if condition. So by using this step 4 I completed end of if structure, and lastly I completed the stop. Next algorithm, we know that how the algorithm going to solve. We know the example also. The first example sum and average, second example about the largest of 3 numbers, and the third one is the simple interest. Now the question, design an algorithm to print all numbers 1 to n. Okay, the question is the, now I am going to design the algorithm, I am going to build up the algorithm, and the question is I want to print the value or the numbers that is from 1 to 10. So how to print the numbers from 1 to 10? How to write the algorithm just when you want to print the numbers 1 to 10 here. So this step 1, we know that always this step 1 going to start by using the start word only, and later next one step 2. In our step 2, the next thing about our input n. Clear this point here? This step 2, that is the input n here. So by using the n value, we need to take such n value to complete the algorithm. So in n value, I am adding, inputting some value, the value that is equal to 10. Clear this point here? But you have to remember it, the value of n, the n value is equal to 10. We know that till where the value we need to print here. That is going to start from 1 to n here. So n value is equal to 10. Clear this point here? The n value is equal to 10. So I am using step 2 input n. And later next one, the step 3. Clear this point? This step 3 3 here. In step 3, also I am going to use one more variable. The name of the variable is the I. Clear? The name of the variable is the I here, and I am using the value, or I am adding the value into the variable that is equal to 1. Clear this point here? The name of the variable is I, and I am adding the value into the variable that is equal to 1. And later this step 4. This step 4, now by using the I value is equal to 1 input again, we can't do the calculation of any program calculation here. So in our step 4, laterwards I am going to use the output of the I. Okay. So later next one is about our output of the I. So what's the value of the I? The value of the I is equal to 1. So we can say that the output I, that is equal to 1. Clear this point here? So first of all I started, then I added input n here, then I used the value into the variable I, that is equal to 1. In step 4, I return the output I. We know the value of the I value is equal to 1. Okay. So the output I, that means the output 1. So it is going to print the value 1. Okay, on our monitor. Now later next one is the step 5. So in our step 5, we can say that just to continue, to print the continue value, that means sure we need to make the increment in the variable. So just I want to make the increment in the variable. Okay, the increment in the variable. So we know that the output I, so I, that means I value is the 1 plus 1, that is the value. Now 1 plus 1, the value in our I, now the value is not the 1, now just only we made the increment in the value. So I value is equal to 2. Clear this point here? The I value is equal to 2. After that I am going to use the next step. So I think it will be clear to everyone about this one. This step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and this step 5. So output I means I value is equal to 1. Okay. Later next one, I is equal to I plus 1. 1 plus 1. Now the I value is equal to 2 here. Now by using such value, I am going to make the calculation. So depend on the calculation, it is going to display the value. So the calculation is the if I. Now what's the value of the I? Now just only we made the increment I plus 1. 1 plus 1. The value of the I is 2. Now later what you have to check it. Whether 2 value is less than is equal to 10. Whether 2 value is less when you are going to compare with the 10. Sure, we can say that when you are comparing such condition, maybe the condition is the 2 value is less. When you are going to compare with the 10 value, the condition is true. If it is true, then our go to step 4. Clear this point here? Go to step 4. So in step, what we written here, in step 4, it going to print the value of the I here. So the condition is 2. That means it going to print the value that is equal to 2 here. So clear this point here. If the condition is true, then go to step 4. Go to step 4 means we need to come to the step 4 here, and we already written some message, that is the output I. So it going to print the value of the I here, and then again now the I value is 2. Correct? Now just only we printed the value of the I. So 2 plus 1. Clear this point here? The 2 plus 1 in this case here, the 2 plus 1, and later now again you have to check the condition whether now 2 plus 1 the value is the 3. Now later next one, the 3 value is less when you are going to compare with the 10 here, as the value is less. In this case the condition is true. If it is true, again you have to go to step 4. That means it's going to print the value of the 3. So like that, one by one it going to make the increment in the variable I here, one by one, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, like that here, until when I value going to reach to the value 10. Okay. when it is reaching to the value 10, then which condition is going to apply? The less condition is not going to apply. Which condition is going to apply? It going to take the condition that is 10 value equal to 10. Okay, the 10 value equal to 10. Here less than condition not going to apply. You should remember it. I not just only added the less than, I already added less than equal sign. Less than equal sign. So 10 equal to 10, such condition is going to apply. If it is true, 10 value is equal to 10. There is no any doubt here. So then again we need to go to the step 4 and we need to print the value of the I. So like that it going to print all those value till the value 10, and when the value going to reach to 10, then again it going to come. The I value is the 10. The 10 plus 1, okay, the 10 plus 1, that is the I value is equal to 11, 10 plus 1, the I value is equal to 11, then after that, now I value is the 11, 11 value less than is equal to 10, 11 value less when you are going to compare with the 10, no, the 11 value is greater when you are going to compare with the value 10. That means the condition is false here. If the condition is false, we need to stop the printing values. Clear this point here? We are not going to step 4 here. If the condition is true, we need to go again and again to print the value. So till where the condition is true, we are going to print the value. If the condition become false, then we need to stop the program. We need to stop the algorithm. Clear this point here? So after that, lastly we can write as the step 8. Clear? This step 8, because we already opened, maybe if condition be open and just we need to close such if condition. So end of if structure, okay, the end of if structure, and lastly we can write the last condition or the last step, that is the stop. So this is some point about the algorithm. So clear now about all how to write the algorithm, how to print the algorithm, that is from 1 to the 10. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.